Pens and emails at the ready. It's Marcus Brigstocke.
Hello. Good news. Former Home Office Minister Bob Ainsworth has called for the decriminalisation of all drugs just in time for Christmas. Things must get pretty tense at the Ainsworth house if that's his only way through.
God bless us, everyone,
observed Tiny Tim, who raved his little noggin off all night on Meow Meow before being dragged off his crutches by overzealous police officers. Here's a question for you. How come the far right are always so far wrong? It's astonishing just how stupid these people are. They make Louis Walsh look like a genius, and bear in mind, he can't walk and clap at the same time. So, I'd like to turn my attention this week to the EDL, the English Defence League.
English Defence League? Well, about time too. People use the most awful grammar all the time. Do you know, this week I heard our own culture secretary being called Jeremy Hunt, when it should be perfectly obvious that he's...
Yes, thank you. I don't need to go there again, much as I would like to. The EDL are a far-right group of anti-Islamists who put on provocative marches and want to fight people. A bit like students, really, only without a good reason to be there and with the whole anti-Islamist neo-Nazi thing thrown in. I say provocative in the real sense that they seek to provoke a response, violent if possible, from anyone they meet. I don't mean they're provocative like sexy. They say they're not a far-right organisation, but the Nazi salutes at their marches say different. That's the thing with Nazi salutes. They will make people think that you're a Nazi. It's one of the reasons I don't do them. That and my bad shoulder. Yeah. The EDL are not particularly bright. It's been estimated that over 70% of their membership joined because they thought they were changing their gas or electricity supplier. So... Anyway, the EDL invited controversial American pastor Terry Jones to address a rally they're hosting next year. They then uninvited him because he has some pretty unsavoury things to say about homosexuals, and they say he's a racist. Wow. Being called a racist by the EDL. That is very racist indeed, isn't it? That's like being called greedy by Simon Cowell or Nick Clegg calling you a Billy No-Mates. How on earth did the EDL invite Terry Jones and not know what they were likely to get? Please tell me they weren't expecting this.
Oh, he's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty Muslim.
I would love it if the EDL thought they'd booked the Quran-burning pastor from the US, and at their big meat-headed rally for the hateful, Terry Jones got up and screamed,
"We've got spam, 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 spam and spam, spam, spam and spam, spam, more spam, eggs and spam, but eggs is off."
Why are the eggs off?
Muslims had them.
The pastor Terry Jones wanted to burn the Quran on 9/11 this year for a number of reasons, but chiefly because he's an ill-considered moron with not even enough sense to realise he looks like a Coen Brothers character and talks like Forrest Gump.
Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Unless you read the lid. That, by the way, should be rule one with book burning, shouldn't it? If you can show you've read and fully understood the book in question, then you can burn it, if you really want to. But if you're one of the 50 or so people Pastor Jones preaches to, or you think he's a smart man because all you have is Fox News to inform you, then I'm sorry, you don't even get a book of matches, let alone any pages to burn. So, Terry Jones isn't coming.
Spam, 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 spam.
The other Terry Jones.
Oh, beg your pardon.
Jones was asked about his Quran-burning scheme, and he said,
Islam is that dangerous religion that drastic means are necessary.
Yes, it's sufficiently dangerous that it's well worth pissing these people off by refusing to engage with the debate and instead setting fire to their holy book. Why not just shove your head in a beehive and scream,
"Hello, bees! You're all stupid, stripy, buzzy dustpots! I hate you! Your queen is ugly and making honey is gay! Sting me! Sting me!"
None of this would matter much if the EDL didn't seem likely to gain support. I mean, their agenda already has tacit support from, amongst others, the Daily Mail and the Daily Express, but then so does the idea of reanimating Princess Diana, so I don't know how seriously we should take that. But they're likely to see their numbers swell because the BNP are in disarray, and people whose main political focus is hate cannot bear disarray. That and blacks. Oh. The BNP have run out of money. They've spent all their money fighting legal cases and getting into trouble with Marmite when they tried a "you either love us or hate us" advert. I love Marmite, but even my most Marmite-hating friends don't wish to repatriate yeast. The chap who set up the Marmite advert, Simon Bennett, has been kicked out of the BNP and said, "It took a year for me to realise I was working with complete morons." A year? Wow, you want to get your moron spotting machine recalibrated. And if you don't think there's anything wrong with the EDL and their agenda, just bear in mind that they have now developed strong ties with the US Tea Party movement.
No, not the Tea Party movement.
Thank you.